Hi, this is Nicole, and I wanted to walk you through how I separated my students into groups. It's actually kind of fun. So let me share screen and bring it up. So this is the base project, and what I decided to do was I organized them into color sections. So those who scored 0 to 20 are this dark red. So I actually segregated it into a couple of different things. And one of the things that was really great about organizing the data this way by colors is that I can tell where students are fluctuating. And if there's just a little bump on the road, like, hey, one time they got this one strange score, or if there's a pattern developing, you're also able to just really glance at it and go, okay, every time there's homework, the grade goes down, or every time there's a quiz, the grade goes down. So you can start to analyze the patterns by putting it into this color coding system. Now on page 1, sheet 1, this is just the general data. Okay, and I went and I organized it by level. So the bright green are kids who scored 95 to 100. Okay, so these are my outliers in terms of the top section of the class. My green are my just good students. Their ranges for their scores are between 70 and 95, or 94 to be specific. The next group that I have are my yellow students, and my yellow students scored between 50 and 70. And then I have my red students, which the brighter red, those kids scored between 21 and 50. And then my dark red is like my emergency color, right? If you see the dark red, that's we need to intervene right now. Something is really wrong in this situation. And you can tell that, you know, some of my bright red kids, some of my red kids have stayed red the entire way through. Some of them have shown some improvement. Some of them have gone from doing better to then doing worse. So is something going on in those students? So, you know, when there's a significant change in the color system, then you can tell like something is happening. And it might take some further analysis of what's going on. Now, when I put it into homogeneous groupings, these are when you group kids by the same, like you put them together based on similar techniques. So here's down at the bottom, you can see this child is the anomaly. They started out with really good quizzes and a good project score, but then it came and it went way downhill. In fact, is getting pretty much worse as time goes on. So something is happening there, and this is not representative of what they could be doing. So the nice thing about, of course, homogeneous grouping is that students are working at the same level. They can push each other to do better. They can challenge each other because they're all in the same academic sphere of things. So this was a really simple grouping because we're grouping kids based on level. And the other thing that is nice here is that you can design specific interventions for each one. Obviously, these kids down here at the bottom, those are our tier 3 kids, right? Those are the kids who really need serious intervention pretty much now. They need to be one-on-one, extremely small group, really intensive interventions. You know, the slightly brighter red, these kids are doing a little bit better. In fact, I have a little bit of a mislabel right here. This kid has shown a little bit of improvement. In fact, we see a little bit of improvement, 30, 40, 64. So we are going to go ahead and move this kid up, and I'll do that later. And that's the other thing you can see is that week to week, the kids might fluctuate between these groups. Heterogeneous, when we go here, the way that I organize this is I tried to evenly spread the kids out. A little bit easier to do because everything is color coded, and you know, I just went to the very last column to see where they're doing instead of looking at all of the data. It's like, where are they right now to decide on their groupings? And I tried to put a high green in each group, but I ran out of high greens when I got to the bottom group. So I just kept someone who had a very high score for the bottom group. They have a 92. So, but they're not the highest green. And then I tried to put a regular green and a yellow and then a red in each group so that it's really spread out between the groups. And my thinking is if I have 2 greens in most groups, I didn't have enough for all groups, but in most groups, then they both will be able to help a student who is struggling. So it's not one person who's working with the entire group. It's, this group process where everybody can be working almost one-on-one with someone. So it's kind of lovely, actually. And even here in this group, this child has pretty consistently been green. So I think they have the potential to do better, which is why I didn't feel too badly about having this group have 2 yellow students in here, because mostly their academic work is green level. So they're usually doing much better than it shows on their last test. I really like a color coding system. It's a really, really easy, quick way to glance at information and see how a specific student is doing from week to week and subject by subject, class by class, project by project. So it's a really, really nice and easy way to analyze data without breaking it up into 15 different sheets, right? So for me, this is a really convenient way, even though it probably looks like a mishmash for anyone else. All right, thanks so much.